Omo namo menzo shiriye namo sushiriye namo namo Omo namo menzo shiriye namo 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 shiriye Omo namo menzo shiriye namo 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 shiriye Omo namo menzo shiriye namo 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 shiriye Omo namo menzo shiriye namo Namo Dharma Shiriye Good afternoon. Any questions? Anything to share with me, with everyone? Yes, please.
There was a question that came up in our group.
So a question that came up in our group is about we talked today about different numbers. So we wondered where the numbers came from, and like for example, there was this example with a mosquito, that if we call a mosquito, then 15 days later, the karma is the same as killing a human, so why 15 days later? And there was also like the number about this place, if we do prostrations, the merit is 100,000 more than, so the 100,000, where it came from, where these numbers. Thank you.
Thank you. So the most of these numbers are prophesied by either Buddhas or realized masters, those who achieve high level of practice, able to understand how this karmas evolve. So through their omniscient mind, they establish this kind of statement. Other than that, I think scientifically, I don't know how to calculate that. In our conventional way, bit difficult to determine. Then there are also certain of such statements are based on the some are based on your motivation, some are based on the subject, the object, like such as the Bodhgaya Stupa, because of it is one of the places that most blessed compared to any other place in Buddhist world, in the practice of Buddhist environment. It is one place that for sure the historical Buddha Shakyamuni himself experienced enlightenment here. Among all the deeds, the deeds of enlightenment is supreme. So that also can understand this particular place carries greater impact of meritorious blessings if we relate any practice here. So that could be one of the reasons. Then there are certain actions it become, even though the number is just one, but the impact is like 100,000 times or 100 million times because of the motivation, such as bodhicitta motivation. The action outwardly see the same action, but then because of the motivation, the power that it carries, bringing about its result is, in numberless times greater. So sometimes it's related to the motivation, some due to the place. And there are so many holy places in the world. Certain holy place so special and so powerful to impact the realization on certain particular practices. Let's say an example, Rajgir, which we were to make a pilgrimage, where Buddha chosen that place to reveal the teaching on wisdom, emptiness, no other place. He had choice to do that teaching discourse in any other place, but he didn't. And so there are so many auspicious factors to do that. There's also proposition or even show a sign by the Dakas and Dakinis, which we can say angels. After Shakyamuni Buddha turned the wheel of Dharma in Varanasi, in Deer Park, and after that he returned back to Bodh Gaya. Then he was just roaming around, and suddenly one vulture came and snatched his chogo. This is called the Dharma ropes. This represents the teaching. So snatched the chogo and brought to Rajgir. So the place exactly where Buddha taught is where his chogo was dropped there. So this is the place for you to teach. And then, because of that, also called as a vulture peak. Then there are also other ways to describe this place also. Some people say, there's a rock look like a vulture, so that's why I call vulture peak. But the earlier stories, I think quite, I don't know whether it's written in the history or not, but that's what we were taught when we learned Hasutra. Then when we talk about Dharma, the Dharma is referring to emptiness. And this shogo, the ropes of Dharma, is actually ropes of emptiness. So it represents wisdom of emptiness. So the Dakini of course by then he's already omniscient. He don't need any external help to predict which place will be the right place, isn't it? But still, it's like creation of auspiciousness, predictions, and the benefit revealing the wisdom teaching there, much more greater than if he had revealed in any other place. So because of that, we purposely need to go there. It's quite far, quite a trip. Otherwise we just visit enlightened holy places enough, isn't it? So again, this is because of the event that will take place, and especially to receive the blessing which will impact understanding of the teaching on emptiness, or even you already understood, but then have to realize the path, then to cause the path. These are the blessing by visiting this particular place, which any of the other place don't carry that benefits. So like that, an example. Yes, thank you. Yes, please.
It's a small question. I wonder about...
Oh, sorry. Okay, please. Then I'll come back
Thank
to
you. It's about the story of the fly circumventing a stupa. So for this fly is completely attached to a smell. So in the auspicious circumstances, move this fly around the stupa, and that's why it gets a rebirth in a human world. So I wonder if a human being with consciousness and being able to decide something, circumventing also the stupa only one time, but not in the need of these auspicious circumstances to be able to do it, has the same merit than this fly. For me, there would be a big difference in the merit of a human being circumventing a stupa with conditions of us we have here, or a fly being circumvented by the outside circumstances.
Human beings circumambulate the stupa, definitely greater merit will accumulate much more greater. For the fly, the heavy rain, the storms are not auspicious, it was disaster for the fly. The only thing is the flooded and the wind somehow push the dry cow down to go around. So here is more about talking about the power of the object. And of course, with such a powerful object, if the subject, if yourself, the being also carries, like correct motivation, beneficial motivation, then also utilizing our limbs to accumulate merits, then without any doubt, the accumulation merit would be numberless times greater than what the fly have accumulated. The circumambulation, even once we have done around the stupa, the benefit what we're going to enjoy in future life is maybe unexpressible because of huge benefit, maybe. Just that definitely will accumulate so much merit. Even if you don't accumulate merit, still so beneficial to walk around, good exercise. People purposely go to gym, buy a treadmill to walk. So for us to just go around the stupa, and it's quite beautiful also. It's quite pleasant. The object provides a very good vibe, and the facilitators make it very nice place to walk around. And that benefit is already great, isn't it? Yeah. Please. I need the mic behind.
Thank you. Yesterday you mentioned the hero and solitude realize as two different paths. I was wondering whether you could talk a little bit more about what the difference between those two paths are. And also you mentioned the courses for a upper rebirth. Could you specify maybe a little bit about what are the causes for a human rebirth and what is for a god and what is for a demigod, please?
Okay, I try my best. The solitary realizer and the hearer realizes path, as far as concerned with the renunciation, is the same. As far as concerned with the wisdom, is the same. As far as concerned with the attitude, is also same. As far as concerned with the state of nirvana, is also same. The only difference is the culture of the environment and the culture that they choose, culture of the environment to practice the path. That brings some differences. For the hearers, they prefer to practice in a community. The hearers, they prefer to get consistent guidance from elders, from their teachers. They prefer to follow instruction by elders or the teachers. Accordingly, then they they upgrade or they progress their stages or practices after their elders determine, where up to what stage they have achieved the realization and what next to be practiced. Even at the very final stage, they prefer their teachers to witness their success of liberation. It's very much the teacher would celebrate your achievement. They prefer to be in such environment. As a solitary, of course, need to learn at the beginning how to practice the path. But then, after they learn, they prefer to practice solitude, like in the cave, in the forest, alone. Then, even at the time of their cessation, they wish to experience alone. That's why it's called solitude. It's, in the text, giving the example like rhinoceros, they call it the rhinoceros like a habit of pursuing the path. I don't know exactly how rhinoceros behave. Maybe they are quite solitude kind of animal. I have no idea. But given such example. So then, as for causes to actualize human rebirth in future lifetimes, again, to actualize higher rebirth in human, God, demigod, there are three causes are common. The aspirations to be born in a God realm, demigod realm, human realm. Then observations of moral ethic, that's one another common cause. Then practice of generosity, that also another common cause. But to be born in God and demigod, there's a great element of neutral karma, not virtue, not non-virtue. The great amount of neutral karma, play a great role. Then for being born, to be born in a human being, then it describes like such. All these teachings very much based on the Abhidhamma by Pashubandhu, Abhidhamma Kosha. So there's an extensive teaching on karma. So the demigod, being born in a demigod is very much who initially, not intended to be born in demigod. Let's say in their previous life, they would either intend to be born in god realm or human realm. But then there are certain element of karma that commit, then they are unable to be born as a god or human, then they're born as a demigod. So there's one extra element is the neutral karma. And what is that neutral karma? So that neutral karma is to do with a certain level of training in concentration. Through they who have a certain kind of attraction to the higher level of concentration. The very much like single pointed concentration is which not infused by any virtuous intention. And also not intended for any virtuous intention, just simply remaining in quietness, calmness, single-pointedly. And through such concentration, you create a karma, and that karma can fall into a neutral aspect of karma, and that act as a main elemental cause to be born in the god realms. Like that. Yeah, thank you.
We have received some sheets on the Vajrasattva mantra. For those, myself included, who have received the lung or the empowerment, is it okay to practice?
Yeah, just recitations of the Vajrasattva mantra, then even in the sadhana with the four opponent power, you can practice without initiation, even without oral transmission also. But of course, if you receive oral transmission, that will make it much more meaningful. And of course, with the initiation, then you can do more profound practices, like even with the self-generation practices, etc. Otherwise, anybody can practice.
Thank you.
Thank you. Behind. Okay, now I'll do this side also.
I had a question about the lower capable being. Is it possible for a lower capable being to have cultivated renunciation, or do you necessarily have to be a middle capable being to cultivate renunciation?
Can you say again? I didn't get it.
Yeah, of course. Sorry.
The English is so profound.
It's my American accent.
Oh, okay.
So I was wondering about the lower capable being, the middle capable being,
Yeah.
and the higher capable being. And I was wondering how those three classes of practitioners, how that maps onto renunciation, wisdom, Chitta. And so I was wondering, lower capable being can cultivate renunciation, or you necessarily have to be a middle capable being at the very least to cultivate renunciation.
Okay. But I still didn't get it or everything, but I tried my best. So these three capable beings are very much defined by the strength of attitude of renunciation, which is also related to the attitude, the courage. someone who is in this stage of higher capable beings, who aspire higher capable beings, then that individual definitely understood and actualized the renunciation of small capable being and also middle capable being. And then on the basis of that, then they actualize the renunciation of the higher capable being, which is reasoning of the renunciation focusing on your own liberation help to develop the renunciation that concerning to the rest of numberless sentient beings' liberation. Is this answer for what our brother asking?
Yeah, he's basically talking about the small scope. If you need to have, is it the same renunciation as a middle scope?
I said no.
Yeah.
Small scope's renunciation is far more weaker than middle capable being. So that's why it's called small capable being. The small capable being's renunciation is just renouncing the three lower realms, the consequences of three lower realms, and those causes that which, such as negative karmic actions, that will condition to experience three lower realms. So renouncing these two, then aspire even the stage of liberation is just higher rebirth, not even nirvana. So the middle capable being renounce all the six realms and karma and delusion and aspire for genuine liberation, the nirvana peace. Then higher capable being renounce the same thing to yourself and as well as the rest of the numberless sentient beings in that concern. Then they aspire for enlightenment. Something like that. Okay, thank you. Sure, that's fine.
Geshe, in our group we were wondering about the indestructible drop. Whether you could share a little bit more about what it is. Is it part of the subtle body, of the gross body, and does it continue? Indestructible sounds like it would continue, but does the drop continue, or does the life force the consciousness into the next life?
So the indestructible drop is a subtle body. It is subtle body. And it is indestructible in one lifetime only. From the very first conceive the life, then it will remain until the spiritual death occurs. So the indestructible drop crashes when the clear light is experienced. The external signs are the the seizing of the life force in entire aggregates, entire physical aggregates. Then that's why there's a dripping of blood, fluid from nostril. If the dying person is really weak, then the drop will be come out from the secret organs. Because until then the subtle, the subtle and the innermost subtle bodies are still alive. So that's why the heat, the fire element, the earth element, the wind element, all these are intact on our subtle body. So because of that, then the brain, scientifically brain is dead, but then the subtle level of the function of the brain, spiritually not dead. And the subtle nervous system is not dead. Subtle function of blood flow is not ceased. So in fact, the whole pack of the subtle more subtle bodies are alive. So that's why spiritually it's not dead. So spiritually, the real death only occur when not only dying of the subtle body, but also to dying of the innermost subtle body. So the indestructible drop is actually innermost subtle body, not even more than subtle body. So when that death occurs, when clear light occurs, then everything is left behind, even that subtle body. Only your, the conscious body or the continual consciousness travel through intermediate state. And when you were born in intermediate state, you understood that you obtain a new intermediate state body. Until you determined your future life, then you carry the intermediate state body, that which has influence of the past life. The moment your next rebirth is determined, that intermediate state body evolve into the reflection of the similarity to the future body. So if you're going to take a human rebirth, then within intermediate state you already achieve the potential body to the human body to be achieved, and that is called the intermediate state body. Therefore, once you actualize human intermediate state, human reincarnation's intermediate state, and that intermediate state being included within the realm of human realm. So usually we talk about 6th realm, isn't it? But then if you differentiate one extra intermediate realm, then they're going to be 7th realm. So don't assume 7th realm. So the reason is until next rebirth is determined, it included within the previous life. Then otherwise it will be included in the next life. So it's still a 6th realm. Something like that. Did I answer your question? Okay. Yes, please. Yeah.
Thank you. I was wondering if you can say the definition of Tantra in this, like the word Tantra or the Tantra teachings, because I read it and I heard and I still not sure what it is. And following to this is like, from what I learned, is like considered to be the highway to enlightenment.
Highway.
So, like my question is actually why? What makes it so different than all other teachings in this tradition? Thank you.
So Tantra in Tibetan, called Ngak. Then the meaning of Ngak is called Yi Gyok. Yi means mind. Gyok means protect the mind. So Tantra meaning protect the mind. The mind you're talking about is the confused mind, superstitious mind, conceptual mind, false mind. So or ordinary mind. So Tantra is the tool that brings protection from the ordinary mind, ordinary perception, ordinary view, misconceptions. So Tantra meaning protection of the mind, protection of the impure mind. So when you adopt the Tantra, when you adopt the tantric practice, there comes, the practice of pure view, practice of divine view, divine percept, divine self, divine others' divine environment, divine selections. So there comes the practice of self-generation, which from the very beginning, once you initiate, or once you go the opening, door to the tantra, then you have all the necessary tools to arise the causal resultant deity in the causal stage, the resultant enlightenment in the causal stage, and you can hold, or you can hold the divine pride of self being the deity, and that is not a misconception. You really, when that divine pride is developed on correct basis of emptiness, without emptiness, won't able to do that. So in emptiness, right there, the actualizing of divine being within this being by purifying the ordinary being, and that divine pride, we call divine pride, is a valid mind, not a misconception. Then whatever you see, wherever you are, you also actualize as a mandala, the deity's mandala, celestial mansion. So that teaches you to purify the ordinary view of self, ordinary view of the environment, and whoever you encounter, the rest of the very much the rest of the object of five senses, everything actualized as a pure object, like people as a dakas and dakinis, all the living beings as angels of the deity. So this of course this is just like you can tips of the iceberg. Tip of the iceberg.
The peak.
Peak of the iceberg.
Tip of the iceberg.
So there's much more to go to make sense to this, So just the beneath of the iceberg is the generation and completion stage of the tantra to be discussed, and it's amazing out there. Then from there we can see why it is highway. Maybe it's like not even a highway. That nowadays there's one flyover.
Supersonic plane or something.
Maybe the flyover kind of. So you see, one of the main obstacle that for us to actualize the complete environment of the Buddha or the deities is this grasping to false establishments, grasping to the false establishments, like such as I, mine, and rest of the phenomena. The inherent view of self and phenomena is a false view. It's obscuration. Substantial dualistic view are false view. It is superstitious. It is obscuration. When you have a dualistic view on self, there's no room to perceive purity. That dualistic view is the reason why we do not see our Dharmakaya, why we do not perceive the Buddha being within. That Buddha being within is the deity. This is the Buddha being within is your meditational deity. It is not something separated from your own actual being. But we are able to discover because of the dualistic obscuration. So, when you practice Tantra from the very beginning, all aspects of practices tease you or to corner you, to directly challenge the dualistic mind, directly challenge the impure mind. So therefore, even this, when we think about the corpse, human body, blood and pus, blood and the bones in the skeleton, it's very filthy, isn't it? But then, right there, asked to transform into a divine body. In Sutra, we never discuss about that. But in Tantra, from the very first moment, asked to challenge our delusion, our dualistic mind. Even during the initiation, right away asked to generate yourself as a deity. That itself is kind of like, how to say, it's a big surprise. Then, subsequently, the purpose of initiation is for us to habituate, train to keep up with the mindfulness of self-deity, which is not easy. Keep up with the mindfulness of everything is a deity selection, not easy. Everybody you see is a Dhaka Dakini, not easy. It's far more challenging than emptiness. But then the dualistic mind is not inherent also. The dualistic mind is just simply result of habituation. You have infused wrong idea, then keep repeating, make it habit in your thinking, and especially that thinking apply when you engage, the mind engage with the object, until everything look like dualistic. Everything is, everything apprehend and believe like inherent existence. True existence. Each one of us we perceive dualistically. Each one of us, you see me as an inherent existence. Geshe here. I see each and every one of you inherently existent from different countries, different look, different mental dispositions. But all this actually is a false view. There's no substantial differences, coming from different substantial countries or inherent countries. Those countries are mainly labeled by mind, isn't it? Those differences are mainly labeled by mind, isn't it? But yourself is mainly labeled by mind, isn't it? If you are not merely labeled by mind, then before your parent give a name to you, you should be already existent before that. You are not. If I didn't introduce myself as a Tenzin Zopa, if I say I'm a Mr. Bond, James Bond, we are receiving teaching from Mr. James Bond. He said, where are you? When your friend asks, where are you? He said, I'm in the middle of India. He said, what are you doing? He said, I'm receiving teaching from Mr. James Bond. I said, oh really? Oh, he's there? He's not making movie anymore? So, if I introduce myself as Mr. James Bond, and I'm Mr. James Bond for you, and because I introduce you as a Tenzin Zopa, I become Tenzin Zopa to you, and that proof, in fact, it just lies in the merely label by the mind, exists merely in the name, but substantially, not even part or particles or even energy, or even just a moment of conscious to determine. That is the substance which is inherent there to make impossible of your existence. There's no such. You see. So anyway, yeah. So the tantra is, from very beginning will introduce you the divine person, the divine environment, then ask you to practice the sadhana. Sadhana means homework, isn't it? So you have to do that homework. The homework. Say even the laziest student is a minimum you need to do it, 6 times. Or at least 1 time of the sadhana every day. At least every day you remember that I am the deity. So if you keep repeat like that, then eventually, you will completely purified of the dualistic views or impure views. And on top of that, when you practice tantra, there's a lot of retreat to be conducted. So very concentrated retreat practices to be engaged, and that again it helps to sweeten the progress. So that's one of the reasons. Another reason is something different from sutra is there's a utilization of channels and chakras and drops, and especially utilization of subtle mind. The innermost subtle bodies to exercise the practice, and so that makes more effective for purification, more effective to actualize the benefit, because you're using most concentrated tools to achieve the purpose of the practice. Because of that, also becomes swipa. You see. Then there are many other sub factors that which sweeten accumulations of 3 countless eons merit. Whether you follow tantra or sutra, you need to accomplish the greatest amount of merit, which again the number we talked about before. So it's a 3 countless eons merit. So that is the expressions of great merit, great amount of, almost you can say the maximum amount of merit. So there's intense Guru Yoga practice, and that Guru Yoga, Deity Yoga, those yogas carries very concentrated trainings, the practices which require even the preliminary, in order to perform those yogas, you need to have a very, very steady moral disciplines, very high level concentration, samadhi. Then you also need to have all the knowledge of all the necessary tools to utilize that. Like if you want to go to a gym, you want to do exercise, what you call like bicep, this sap, that sap. So you need different tools, isn't it? So you need to know exactly what tool to use to make bicep and these steps. So exactly in the tantra, you need to know, is it ze, ma, tengin zin, ze is the substance, those tools. Ma is the powerful, the energy, utilization of those energy, or the mantras. Then tengin zin, concentration. So now one question can ask, how, what are the preparatory for me to able to arrive at that stage to receive the maximum benefit of the tantra, that what we are talking here. For that you need to require the common preliminary preparations and uncommon preparatory practices that will highlight, or that will make possible all the benefit of Tantra. So the common prevalent practice is to have a very, very correct understanding and certain level of experience through your meditation on three principal aspects of path: renunciation, bodhicitta, and emptiness. Without this, Tantra doesn't make any sense. This three. Or in other words, the lamrim. The lamrim, there's from Guru devotion all the way up to the description of enlightenment. All this to learn, and that will help to make Tantra sensible. Then uncommon preparatory practice is a lot of purification need to happen in our system, and you need great strokes of merit also. Otherwise, so easy to slip away. So easy to, slip away. That could understand. So easy to misunderstand. So easy to misuse. So easy to, misplace of those very powerful tools. And that can damage the chakra. That can damage the mind. That can be quite destructive also, because it's so powerful. So we need to know how to use properly. You see, so need a lot of meritorious resources. So for that, then the Mondo practices. There are four major Mondos in Lama Tsongkhapa's tradition. Four beside the lamrim. Besides three principal acts of path, it's four major models to accomplish the first to make our vessel, pure vessel, to able to digest the most profound nectar of Tantra. So purify our system through Vajrasattva practice, 100,000 Vajrasattva minimum, very strict, proper retreat. So in order to do that, first need to receive transmissional teaching how to practice the Vajrasattva, then receive Vajrasattva initiation, then conduct 100,000 Vajrasattva retreat minimum. There are many do 400,000 or even more. Per minimum 100 and plus 10,000 just to supplement, even in case during the practice of 100,000. If there's a lacking of visualizations or lacking of the correct pronunciation of the mantras, so we do 110,000. So once your system is purified, now you need to plant the seed of the enlightenment. Then you have to do refuge retreat in refuge practice. The 4-line, refuge. You can also do the 5-line. Since you're already practicing, you aspire for Tantra, then to accumulate meritorious karmic connection to eventually have or meet qualified Vajra Tantric Guru, then you already start to accumulate the refuge practice, refuge to Guru, refuge to Buddha, refuge to Dharma, refuge to Sangha, Lama Atisha, Sangha Atisha, Chela Atisha, Kindula Atisha. The common refuge is Sangha Atisha, Chela Atisha, Kindula Atisha, like that. So 110,000. Again, you need to receive the teaching on that, called Mondo teaching. Then, so after you plant the seed, now the seed has to grow. So you need to, nurture it by gathering merits. For that, then you need to perform 100,000 mandala offering practice. Again, 110,000 mandala offering practice. You receive the teaching, then you conduct. So the refuge and mandala offering retreat can be combined together. So the mandala offering, you have to use the mandala base, not just the mudra or the mala. You have to use the mandala base. And Lama Tsongkhapa himself practiced that way. And that affects him to realize many realizations. the strokes of merit. An example, Lama Tsongkhapa, he already composed, correct understanding on the Nagarjuna's intent on emptiness, great treatise, and he has correct understanding, but still have not realized the realization of emptiness. So then he consulted with his teacher. So then his teacher asked Lama Tsongkhapa to evoke Majishri, seek advice from Majishri. So then he has a direct vision of Majishri. Majishri said, you need lacking of stores of merit and also need to do a lot of purification. That's the whole reason why you're not realizing the path. Then asked him to go for retreat. So he went into retreat in Wakacholing. So there he did the prostration, Vajrasattva practice, 35 Buddha's prostration to purify his karma. Then he did the mandala offering. So the mandala offering again used the base and combined together with the refuge and the mandala practice. So when you use the base, you purify like 3 poisons. You rub 3 rounds out, then you accumulate the blessings or practice of 3 high trainings or whatever, the 3 rounds in. So when you do that, this is the preparation for the actual mandala practice. So there you recite refuge prayer, Sanje Shodan Suji Sunama, Chanjo Badu Dani Yasun Chen Dagi Chizu Yeson. So anyway, I don't know how many things I did. So in fact, it's just a nice one. 3 times out, 3 times in, and the prayer, the 4-line prayer, just nice. Then after that, you do the 5 heaps mandala offering. Sashi to Joshim, the Dhamira, in the Java, Sandish, and the Boy, to Banaglash, and Shukasho. Idam Ornament, Sandish, no Namaja, okay, again, didn't match. So, Sandish, Chanjubadu, Danijasun, Takichi, Yendona, Pages, and Yendro, Varasho, Sashi, Pages, and the Sandish, and the Boy, to Banaglash, and Shukasho, Idam Guru, and Amidona, Panitayami, Sandish, like that. So you can complete 2 together. So mandala offering to get the scrolls of merit. Then now you need direct channeling of the blessings of the deity, and that is the Guru Yoga practice. So that's the 4th one. Then, as for Gelugpa tradition, you engage in Lama Tsongkhapa Guru Yoga 110,000 retreat. So means that this is a over to manage the sun. So this need to be accumulated 110,000 based on the 100 deities of the sadhana, the Kadampa. Now ready to drive on the what? Highway. or what? Fly over. Then you will enjoy the speed. Otherwise, then after meeting Tantra, then the hair also stand up. Then also you are not really settle on the ground, it's like floating. Then when people see you, don't know whether any goes into the person or what happened. You become very strange, Instead of coming glow out of you, there's a lot of obstacle comes. So, and then there are many people, misuse of Tantra. In Tibet happened, in India happened, in Southeast Asia happened, in the West, even more happening. Misuse of channels and chakras and drops and also misinterpret all the the images of the deity. So without proper lamrim understanding, it's so easy to misinterpret. and some more, many of the tantric teachings are only studied after you receive initiation. So And also many tantric practitioners, they receive initiation and they thought that's done. No, that's the initiation is just like kind of like a open the door only. You know, but in many of our thinking is the moment you receive the initiation, your job of tantra is done. You see? So it's not, it's the guru just help to open the door. Now actual excursion you have to do it. The actual study of the mandala, we have to do it. So that's why if you are receiving any tantric initiation, especially as an organization, as you know, or anybody organizing tantric initiation, the teacher must allocate 1 or 2 days of preliminary teaching, lamrim teaching, then initiation. Then after that must have few days intense, whatever time requires to explain the sadhana, how to do the homework. Otherwise it becomes like you produce a baby, then father run away, mother run away like that. The baby is like abandoned. Then you say, I don't know how to do the practice, Many like that. So anyway, sorry to complain. So like that, because many people comes in your way like that, so many confused people after entering into tantra, then and then they only knew few, and some of those instructions are kind of, if you break the samaya, then it will be like disaster, but they even don't know what is the samaya. They say you break the commitment, it's like such and such false, but don't know what is the commitment, what is the sadhana, such thing happens, So maybe here, maybe some newly starting your journey. So it's many people can go wrong like that. Many people went wrong even in Tibet in the past. So from very beginning, someone to share this. So like that. Okay. Any questions? Otherwise, I will go through the text a little bit. Any more questions? Please.
Sir, I have 3 questions.
Sure.
Hello. So the first question is, we developed the concept of inherent, the emptiness of inherent existence of the phenomena, and that's still conceptual. As long as the concept is there, me and the other, the duality still exists. So we then go to the stage wherein we remain without the concept, non-conceptual. So the question is, why can't we directly say remain without a single thought and just be still? So why do we take the difficulty of developing the elaborate reasonings to determine the emptiness of phenomena and then abandon the concept of emptiness and remain non-conceptual? That's my first question. Second question is the phrase non-conceptual realization of emptiness. I find it a little bit troublesome because conceptual means me and the other. Non-conceptual is nothing but the gap between the two thoughts, where the knower and the knower is non-existent. So if you start with non-conceptual and then you jump to realization, because realization means there is someone yet who is there to realize, and of emptiness means it is something different from me, hence I have to realize that. But non-conceptual means it transcends both. How do they sit together? And finally, is the third question, is the non-conceptual realization of emptiness, is that the ultimate attainment? I mean, we call it as Buddhahood or Bodhisattva. Instead of using all those names, from my understanding, ultimate attainment means there is nothing else left to remove as an obscuration. So, is this non-conceptual realization of emptiness, does that ensure that everything that has to be removed has been removed?
Okay. I need to ask you to repeat the first one. Just the first one.
The concept of inherent
the emptiness of inherent existence. We develop the concept, we realize it, but the next stage is to remain without the concept. I mean, to be non-conceptual, without. So, why can't we directly say, just remain without a thought?
I see.
Why do we add one more thought saying the phenomena is empty?
So the reality is, not to prove non-existent. It's actually to actualize legitimate existent. So the establishment of the emptiness actually is to establishing real existence, legitimate existence. So therefore, instead of just remain still or void, you need to you need to overcome. You need to overcome. What obstruct to actualize that void, which is inherent. The inherent idea, even though there's no inherent existence, but the grasping, the subject hold the inherent apprehension, the inherent idea or inherent view. So the legitimate way of establishing existence is the way that you actualize the void of inherent existence. The moment you actualize the void of inherent existence, you actualize interdependent existence. You see, so it's that is the shortest cut, and for that, the analytical process to get to that knowing, that void of substantial existence is necessary in order to in order to reach to a point that you really can arrive to the absorption kind of state, which is free from all the concepts. So concepts are the you can call it superstitious, or you can call the concepts are the dualistic. The dualistic is not about perceiving or understanding or apprehending two phenomena, more than one phenomena. It's nothing obstacle by that. The dualistic is about establishing substantial existence out of merely imputation of the mind, and that brings about dualistic existence. That establishes the dualistic way, So until you overcome the dualistic dualistic existence in both the object and subject, you won't able to arrive to a completeness of the emptiness, which is the non-conceptual. So when you arrive to the non-conceptual realization of emptiness, the first moment of when you realize non-conceptual realization is a meditative equipoise. We don't realize during the post-meditation. So it will realize during the meditation state, which is within the meditative equipoise. So the object of that meditative equipoise is the emptiness of the wisdom itself. Analytically, you realize emptiness of form, and emptiness of this and that, but the object of meditative equipoise, when you are realizing, first time realizing direct realization of emptiness, which is the non-conceptual realization of emptiness, that meditative equipoise, object of that military equipoise is the emptiness of the wisdom, emptiness of the wisdom, the mind, the wisdom, realizing emptiness of something. You see, or the self or phenomena. So that is the most subtle, and that is the final. When you realize, when you realize the non-conceptual realization of emptiness, even though you realize on one object, which is the emptiness of the mind that realizes emptiness, you realize emptiness of all. If you realize emptiness of form, not necessarily you can claim, or not necessarily you realize emptiness of taste or touch. But when you realize the emptiness of the wisdom realizing emptiness, directly, that one realization is enough of realizing emptiness of all. So, so then there you definitely purify all dualistic view. Otherwise, when you realize emptiness of form, you may realize lack of substantial existence on the form, like what the Chittamattara would do, but not necessarily that you also overcome the substantive or the true existence of the subject, the mind. Like Chittamattara, they realize lack of inherent existence or lack of true existence on all tangible phenomena, outer phenomena. You see, they don't assert the true existence, outer phenomena, isn't it? But they still assert true existing subject, the mind. And that shows the Chittamattara, if you claim realizing emptiness based on the Chittamattara view, you have not realized emptiness, because you have not realized the non-conceptual realization of emptiness. From the Chittamattara school, they may claim, I have realized, but from the Pasangika, the higher school, no, you are not. You are still carry dualistic. What is that dualistic? The dualistic of true existing nature of the mind, that perceiving emptiness, and that itself is the dualistic fault. So when it comes to the Pasangika Madhyamika, then not only the physical existence lacking substantial existence or true existence, but also the subject realizing emptiness also lacking of substantial or true existence. So by meditating on that truth, when you realize it, when you realize through the meditative equipoise, that's the moment that you purify from the root of the entire conceptual ideas, something like that. So don't know whether I answer your question or not, but something like that.
I have some problem.
Okay.
In what is
The word realization.
Okay. Yes.
That keeps on imputing that there is someone who realizes.
Oh yes, there is someone who is realizing. Yes.
Because then that means you are negating the emptiness there itself.
No. Someone is realizing. The person is realizing emptiness. The person has to realize emptiness, because that person has to travel through the path and actualize enlightenment. The person is just not hanging in the air.
Forgive me, but it's not that the person, the very self whose inherent existence we are trying to say that is empty. The person who wants to realize, the person is not different from self.
Person is not different from the self.
Yeah.
Which self?
Self. What I call as me, the sense of me.
It's a false self? Yes, there's no false self.
Oh, there is.
And there's a legitimate self, is there?
Oh.
You know, it's similar like the legitimate, free from dualistic existing wisdom realizing emptiness, non-constitutive realizing emptiness exists there, isn't it? Similarly, there's also a person that who exists interdependently, who exists in a merely label in the name. That person is realizing the emptiness. You know, not the one that we used to believe as me. There's no such me. Yes, that person, since that person is not there, how to realize emptiness, isn't it?
Yeah.
But there's another one, the real one.
But I understand this is called, various people call it the supreme identity.
Supreme identity, that's the real identity, whether it's supreme or low, that's the it. That's the one who's in samsara.
Oh.
That's the one that who will be enlightened. That's the one as a living being.
So my final question is, because we are caught in this dualistic ego, if we are using words and concepts to describe the real identity,
don't use words. You have to. In fact, we have to come to a term that in fact, everything exists merely in words. Cannot lose words. You can lose everything, but not the words. You know, so everything exists merely in name, merely in words. I'm very relieved. Okay, any other question? When you start the question, my head almost cracked. Okay, so we have about 10 minutes, so I will just go a little bit. Otherwise, we cannot finish the text. I already distracted on the whole first day. Anyway.
Geshe, we can teach till 6 if you like.
No, I'm okay. Yeah.
That's the program.
I think I have an appointment. 5:30. So anyway, the explanation of the teaching, I think we already done in the earlier session. In relation to that verse, after verse, I think from verse 6 onward, I think verse 11, the teaching on the 7 cause and effect and 4 points of exchanging with others. So I think, carry on. Even after that, it's a related teaching, so no need to do much explanation. So anyway, verse 12, it says, the qualities of developing such an aspirations are fully explained by Maitreya's in the arrays of Trunk Sutra. The qualities, the definitions, the benefits of actualizing the aspiration of bodhicitta that explained by Maitreya in the arrays of Trunk Sutra, it says. So just give one example, one quotation from that is, child of the noble family, the altruistic intention is like the seed of the Buddhahood. So there are such descriptions or even expressions of benefit of bodhicitta, over 200, over 200 different lines expressing the advantage and benefit of bodhicitta in that sutra. So it's talking about that. Then, verse 13, having learned about the infinite benefit of the intention to gain full enlightenment by reading this sutra or listening to a teacher, arose it repeatedly to make it steadfast. So there are like 4 precepts 4 precepts to learn to make it steadfast of the altruistic aspiration to be developed within you. So the first precept or the first tools to to enhance your aspiration to develop bodhicitta is the repeatedly contemplating or thinking of the many benefits of the bodhicitta, which Atisha himself later in this text, some of the verses are dedicated to express the benefit. Such there are many, like in the arrays of the Trunk Sutra by Maitreya. There are 200, specific, benefits are mentioned. So we can study all those like that. So one of the precepts is from the professor is repeatedly thinking of those benefits. Then the second is the so after you decided to choose the Mayani path and to cultivate the bodhicitta, at least that you wish to infuse the bodhicitta intention to all the activities of your life. Like Dochanyatu, when you sleep with bodhicitta motivation. When you move any movement, you initiate those movements with bodhicitta motivation. Whatever you consume, eat, wear, utilize, everything, you do that with the bodhicitta motivation. Then, if unable to do all the time, but at least remember to do, 3 times in the day, 3 times at night. At least remember to 3 times in the daytime that the activities are initiated by bodhicitta, and 3 times at night, like before go to bed, go to bed with the bodhicitta motivation, or maybe have the dinner with bodhicitta motivation, or purify. You reflect on your day and whatever karma to be. Certain mistakes are done. When you do vegetable purification, do that with bodhicitta motivation. Or if, by reflecting on the day, you found that you have done so many virtues in the day, you rejoice in bodhicitta. Then in the daytime, the first thing in the morning you wake up, you generate bodhicitta motivation. So this is something very beneficial to adopt. So you generate altruistic motivation for rest of your existence first, then specifically for whole life, then specifically for this year, then this month, this week, and this very day. I'm going to make all my activities, all my energy, my time in the service of sentient being, for the benefit of numberless sentient beings, temporary happiness, after the ultimate happiness of enlightenment. You dedicate like that. So that's the motivation. And best to do even before come out from your bed, So no need to prepare anything, no need to brush, no need to, unless you are so rushed to go to toilet. Otherwise, the moment you wake up, the first thing remember bodhicitta. First thing remember to, motivate in bodhicitta. I will, my life dedicated to preserve the bodhicitta, both in learning and in action, in my very best ability. I'm going to dedicate my life in my very best in the service of sentient beings' well-being, like that. You will amaze that one single thought in the morning brings so much comfort throughout the day, and you will have a very, very fulfilling, concluding of the day at the night. with that, then if in case something goes wrong, no regret, life already makes so meaningful just with that intention, you see. So, so I will share some benefits later. It's, just that idea, that motivation, change the person worse to the best. Just moment before, one may be the cruelest person in the universe, just because of arising that bodhicitta attitude, either in motivation or either in dedication or either as either in motivation or dedication, then you become a child of Buddha. You become a family of Bodhisattvas. You see. Then that way, entire your body become like a wish-fulfilling, blissful jewel like that. So, so if you elaborate a little bit more, this attitude, then may whoever see me, whoever think of me, call my name, praise me, scold me, or even cause my life, may I be only cause for the sentient beings' happiness, sentient beings' virtue and enlightenment. May whatever elements that I touch, I come in engage, like the air that you touch to your body, the air that you breathe, the body that touch to any soil, everything consecrate with the value of bodhicitta, value of precious blessing of the most precious heart, the heart of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. You see, so then, if you like shopping, then go in the busiest shopping mall. You are constantly benefiting. How many people see you, they all be benefited. How many people you see, they all benefited. Whoever you think, they are benefited. Whoever they think of you, they are benefited. Then you can be busybody walking here and there. Everywhere you go, the more the ground you touch, blessed. So with that, then now go and climb the Mount Everest. With that, soak your body in the ocean. Can you imagine? With that motivation, now you soak your body in the ocean. The entire numberless, fishes, ocean beings will be benefited by you. Unbelievable, isn't it? This is not just a nice thing to say, it's a real one. You see? So that much blessing. You see? So, you see, then you can interact with as many people as possible. All those will be benefited. They help condition to purify their karma, condition to, ripen their merits. You see, so unbelievable. You see, so just need to remember to do that. Otherwise, it doesn't require much time. In the morning, the moment you wake up, you do that. Then when you go to bed, you again, you dedicate your entire time of sleep for the benefit of sentient being. So the sleeping mind, some of you must have studied logic, the mind and cognition. So there's one mind can divert, can change through motivation. That is the mind of sleep. So if you sleep with anger, the entire sleeping period you accumulate karma of anger. If you sleep with bodhicitta, entire sleeping period you accumulate altruistic virtues. So therefore, it's a Milarepa. He says, if you know how to practice, then entire sleep also become the greatest yoga of sleep. If you know how to practice, entire eating also become greatest yoga. So you enjoy eat and eat and eat. Or if you like to sleep, just sleep. So nothing is wasted. verse 14. It says, the sutra requested by the Viradatta fully explain the merit therein at this point. In summary, I will cite just 3 verses. The Atisha said like that. So verse 15. If it possessed physical form, the merit of the altruistic intention would completely fill the whole of space and exceed even that. Verse 16. If someone were to fill with jewels as many Buddhas fill as there are grain of the sand in the Gangas, like Gyajalang Sobrumche usually give an example of this, like a Pacific Ocean, the sand in the Pacific Ocean. So the Ganga, now we are next to the Ganges River. So the Ganges River, it goes very far all the way to Mount Kailash. Then it goes so deep into, the ocean. So, along there's so much, sand, that much sand grain. So the merit you accumulate through generating bodhicitta, even the aspirational one, even the created one, even just for one moment, the merit is far more greater amount than the number of the sand of the Ganges River. The merit that you accumulate, the jewel filled with the number of the Ganges River you offer to all the protectors, all the Buddhas. Of course, huge merit, but comparison to the one moment generation of bodhicitta, that will create even greater merit. So if someone were filled with the jewels, as many Buddhas feel as their grains of the sand in the Ganges, to offer to all the protectors of the world, this would be surpassed by the gift of holding one hand and inclining one's mind to enlightenment, for such is limitless. Yeah, so just now I was talking about the 4 precepts. The 3rd precept is the always create as much merit as possible, create as much merit as possible. Then the 4th precept is never give up living beings, never give up, never dishearten, being helpful to the sentient beings. These are the 4 precepts, Okay, so I will just read this few of this. The benefits. So this is the from other texts. So this simple, sincere decision has a capacity to change the worst into the best. You are transformed in the snap of finger from the worst there can be to be the best, by the simple wish to become free like the Buddha, as you can lead all sentient beings to the freedom of the Buddha. The transformation of the sentient beings from defiled and negative to the secret and positive can take place with the development of bodhicitta. With this simple decision that from now onward, I dedicate my life in the service of numberless sentient beings, from now until state of enlightenment. That simple decision. So then there's example. Many years ago, Buddha Shakyamuni himself was just an ordinary everyday beggar with a bowl full of food. When he saw the Buddha of that time and become inspired enough to offer a bowl of food, he sincerely prayed to become like this Buddha and make all sentient beings like him. This was the beginning of the Prince Siddhartha's lineage of enlightenment. So until he attained Buddhahood, that seed of aspiring bodhicitta kept growing, and finally it developed into the fruit at Bodh Gaya under the Bodhi tree, become enlightenment about 2,600 years ago. Then there's one teaching, I think in Nagarjuna's precious garland, I think the form bodies of the Buddha arise from the collections of merit. The truth body, in brief, O king, arises from the collections of wisdom. Thus, these two collections are the causes of attaining Buddhahood. So, in some, always, rely upon merit and wisdom. So, rely upon merit means always generate bodhicitta. Bodhicitta is a simple but very profound practice. It is compared to a lotus. A lotus is the most beautiful, clean flower, but it grows in an ugly, dirty mud. In the same way, bodhicitta can be practiced by anybody. It is the simplest and most efficient and most profound practice. So, this understand that bodhicitta can be practiced by anybody. You don't need in particular caste, you don't need particular race, particular status. As long as you have the heart, you can practice it. And also, the object or the places, to practice bodhicitta can practice anywhere, especially in the most difficult places. Samsara, our world is quite difficult places. So it's a perfect place to practice bodhicitta. Especially if you are living with difficult people. Maybe your partner is very difficult, your children is very difficult, your parents very difficult, your friends very difficult, your neighborhood is very difficult. Then the best medicine is bodhicitta. To make peace with everybody is a bodhicitta. You see. Yeah. So it's very much like one of the most needed practice in today's time is bodhicitta. You see. In fact, in any time in samsara, it's of course bodhicitta, but we as human beings in our lifetime, this is a period that we are experiencing quite a challenge, isn't it? It's like such as war, more natural disasters are happening, more new discovery of diseases are coming in our way, people become more intolerant, so easy to misunderstand, so little patience, etc., etc. So, as someone who met the Buddha Dharma, then this teaching is the most essential practice, like a necessity in today's time. And even if one person practices this, it really benefits hugely. Even in reality, it will benefit huge. So in the neighborhood, one person practices bodhicitta, you are making peace with everybody. You bring peace in the entire neighborhood. In your country, just you alone practicing bodhicitta, at least, that make hopeful of peaceful that nation. You see, meritorious-wise, great benefit, even in practical point of view. You see, if you practice bodhicitta, entire numberless sentient beings their life becomes safer. Their life becomes safer from killing, stealing, lying, etc., etc. All the harms, they get protected because of you practice. Even though you are one, but numberless sentient beings, receive that benefit. Can you imagine? So then Shantideva's Buddhist Acharya says, how the moment before you develop bodhicitta, you could be the cruelest person in the whole universe, but the moment after you develop the bodhicitta, you are son or daughter of the Buddha. So you see, if individually feel that you have done so many wrongdoings in the life, and now you want to cleanse it, adopt the bodhicitta. Right there, right there, you can claim that, I'm pure. Right there purifies, all the wrongdoings that we have done in our life. Any wrongdoing, you see, like what the Shantideva said, the cruelest, even you have done heinous crime. Okay, now you want to make your life virtuous, adopt the bodhicitta, right there. Your value is as equal as bodhisattvas. you see. Unintentionally, in our life, we have done all sorts of things. and when we grow older, we felt those are mistakes, those are wrongdoings. Shouldn't have done like that, shouldn't have scolded somebody, etc. So instead of carrying that guilt, that regret is not good. It's harmful. Rather purify them right here, right that moment, by adopting the bodhicitta, making commitment that from today onward, my motivations of life, my objective of life will be altruistic intention, bodhicitta. Okay, so we stop here. Thank you. Dāgī jīnyē sāpē gyāwā dē tēndāng dōwā kuilāng kāmbē dāng kēparā jīzhē lōsāng chāpa tēmbē nīmbō rēndō sāshī shō yē chō jē mē tō tāng rī rāng dē jīnyē dē gyāwā dē sāng jē jīndō mī tē bē nām dā jīlā jē parā yī Kuzera peche, namba tile chuchu jepa tang, losan tempe chame sasoni, chave muse tatu ye gyuru ishe, ye dama guru rana mena. Daya yeme chancho semcho rinpoche ma ye panam ye gyuje, yewa nyamba meba, kone kundu pevara isho, toni tawa rinpoche ma ye panam ye gyuje, yewa nyamba meba, kone kundu pevara isho, rinye tawa rinpoche ma ye panam ye gyuje, yewa nyamba meba. Pevara isho, jambe bawe chedra kempa tang, kundu sampo teya techinje, tenda kunje jesu talo, yawa tenda tamche rabdu mo, deso jebe yawa tamche de, owa kala chudu maba, tashin jebe zawa degwe jang, sampo jeje ra, owa ye kare rawe, gobe shingam de, penda dewa madwe juwe, Geshe Tenzin Zopa, Shabe Sede Padu Den Yuru. Thank you very much. Dinaya. Omo Ahu, Lama Sangye Lama Je, Deje Lama Getu, Kunje Je Lama De.